Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You got to click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday. Speaking of which, we're going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to have a little bit of a change to the live stream, so I did want to kick things off in that matter. Guys, a little bit of a crazy day today. It was beautiful out here in South Florida. Then all of a sudden storms came by and it looked pretty nasty. Now it's sunny again. This is South Florida. Welcome in. If you haven't been here, you should travel and visit. Oof, good to see you. I have a decent amount of content coming this week. Glad that you are excited for this one because there's a lot of bullish momentum coming into the charts and we have a lot to discuss. Juan, welcome in. It's always nice to see you. Todd, you know what I always say, man. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate it. Oof. I didn't see you say it, but oh, there we go. Let's fucking go. Rory, good to see you. And Cassius, welcome in, kind sir. So, guys, let's start off with a little bit of a change to the live stream that I will be doing on an ongoing basis. Going to try to experiment with something here. So, this is all effective next week, starting on Monday, Memorial Day. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, no changes. I will still be here, albeit I'll be starting a new job, as you know, so I should be here between 5 and 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Wednesday, no changes there. Change on Thursday. Thursday, we're going to change it up. I want to be able to connect with different members of my audience. So for that live TA Q&A session that I always do on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Thursday, I'm not going to be here in the evening. I'm actually going to be live streaming very early in the morning, approximately, I think, 5:15 a.m. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you click that bell. Guys, if you want to wake up, if you're on the East Coast and you're like, damn, there is nothing that excites me more than to wake up with CBG and Crypto TA in my ears. That beautiful voice and technical analysis that just fills my soul with love. You can wake up each and every single weekday with me. And if you're not up by 5:15 and you're certainly not up by 5:30, what the fuck are you doing? Get your ass up. You should be heading to the gym. So that's going to be on Thursday. Friday is going to be optional. Friday and Sundays are going to be optional. So on an ongoing basis, what I'm doing, I think just to create a little bit more balance in my own life, Fridays is going to be an optional live stream. And then same thing with Sundays, guys. Depending if we, if we have a monthly close throughout the week, there may be an additional live stream. If there's a lot of exciting price action coming in on the weekends and we have some sort of a significant weekly close, I will live stream on Sundays as I've done in the past. But that is the change. So Monday through Wednesday, nothing is changing. Thursday, super early. Friday is going to be an optional day. So that is the announcement. But guys, there's a lot of significant price action in the charts today, so I really don't want to waste any time. I want to get into the original agenda that I had laid out on X, or Twitter, as we still call it. So for today's live stream, this is kind of the agenda that I set up today. We're going to look at how the weekly close looked. We're going to look at how the month is shaping up. Kind of ties into a post that I just put out there about 10 minutes ago, about 71,300. And then we're also going to assess the current status of Bitcoin topic signals. Now, of course, you can tell me that there's some news that came out for Ethereum, but I'm going to tell you what, it's all in the motherfucking charts. Welcome to the live stream. If you don't know, now you know. All right, it's all in the charts. So we're gonna talk about some of this significant price action that's coming in on Ethereum. We're gonna touch on that because it's very, very important and its impact on Bitcoin dominance. A lot of excitement. Just like I said, the market can change on a dime, so we'll have to kind of see where we're at. So with that being said, let's kind of jump into things here. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I see shit engagement. That's right, shit engagement. I am incapable of moving forward to provide content for free to help you in this market if you literally can't take a second and go, thumbs up. I can't locate the thumbs up button, CBG. Hide the comments, look for the thumbs up. I am governed and overseen by YouTube by the engagement. If I have shitty engagement, I'm not going to reach anyone on this platform. So please help a brother out. All right, so let's just take a quick look at the recent price action that's coming in here on the 12-hour. Now, you know this is something we've been kind of honing in on, and I've spoken about $68,000. Right now, we have a 12-hour candlestick that's peeking its head above. You know we need a confirming candlestick, though, right? Now, if we go to the chart, something interesting I was looking at right before I came out here, actually. A couple things I want to hit on here. $68,000 is the key level to you, and I've told you that once we get above it and we sustain price action above it, for me, tomorrow is the confirming candlestick. That's how it works in technical analysis. So I'm assuming we are going to close the day out today by at or above $68,000. Of course, we still have almost 2.5 hours left in the day. A lot can happen. But if we can sustain our price action at it above $68,000, the only thing you want to watch for from price tomorrow, do we close tomorrow at, and of course we're going to talk about this tomorrow, are we going to close at and above $68,000? If we do, well, first off, we need to change all these to green. Then this line here is going to change from a red resistance to a green support, okay? The other significant development in this chart that I was assessing right before going live, tell me if you notice anything here. Do you notice anything when I zoom out like this? Well, if we just focus on the moving average, and albeit the chart's a little busy here, I should probably clean this up at this point. It just, things get a little too busy. Now, mind you, this is a 12-hour chart. I've just turned this from a 12 to a daily here. What happens, though, on the daily charts, historically in the past, when we get the 10 crossing above the 50 and the 20 crossing above the 50? Again, the 10 is the blue, the 20 is the orange, the 50 is the purple. Well, you can see the last time we had a positive cross was here, and we saw a massive run up. Here, we got the cross, but we weren't above the 200 pink until this area here. But once all the moving averages were working in the same direction, we moved up. So, again, we'll have to, and again, we saw the same sort of price action here. So, historically, in recent times, and we could go back in the chart further, which we're not going to, but, and this kind of speaks to a fundamental concept that I've spoken to. I think actually on the last live stream I spoke to this, a couple live streams ago. But you want those moving averages working in order, right? You want the 10, then the 20, then the 50, then the 200, right? It's telling you more recent price action is essentially more bullish than the prior proceedings average price, okay? The other thing is you want all those moving averages trending up, which is what we're beginning to see here. Of course, the 50 was starting to go sideways, and the 10 and 20 have crossed down. So this price action, this recent surge in price, I always feel like a weather forecaster. The recent surge in price has resulted not only in price action moving up, but because the price action is moving up, the moving averages are moving up. So it's looking very, very good. Weekly, of course, this is the hammer candlestick that we spoke to. We said more than likely what this signaled to us, while there's no certainty in charting, what the green hammer candlestick signaled to us was this. The bottom, the local bottom, was in right here at 56, wherever the heck it was at, 56,500, okay? And more than likely, the only way we'd go lower here is if we saw some sort of a capitulatory wick, but we wouldn't close a candle body above here, which is really what we want to look for. Well, look what has happened. The prior week here, what did we get? This is a bullish engulfing candle. Very, very, very bullish. It eclipses the prior candle's red body. Now, the other thing that's going on the price indicators, we've been watching for this. We've been looking for this to come in on the charts, right? Look at this MACD. We're flattening out. We're beginning to curl up, and the histogram has turned a light red. Very importantly, very, 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 very importantly, I'm seeing the relative strength index on the weekly is at and above 70. We also see the stochastic RSI beginning to trend up and get closer to 20. This could be a very pivotal week for us. If we can maintain an RSI at and above 70, and we can get that stochastic RSI to cross above 20, which is our confirmation line. Guys, we have spent way too much time studying the historical significance of those indicators and what that means for price, and you're also going to see this MACD begin to curl up. So very, very, very good price action on the weekly. Guys, before I share with you what is potentially setting up to be something massive on the monthly, and that's the higher time frame view, the view you really want to focus in on, I have no idea why still half the people listening have not engaged with me. Would you please show me a little bit of love? If you showed me love when you first came on the live stream and you spent a second of your time doing that, I wouldn't have to keep asking the audience. But I can continue to interrupt my technical analysis to continue to talk to you, who for some reason gets a lot of humor out of not being able to engage. I don't understand why. Now, I have this marked here at $69,000, and you see the prior all-time high here before this all-time high at $19,700. Now, the thing I like about this chart is it's very clean. I do not have this chart marked up with a lot of lines, which I really like. You can see the $69,000 top. All-time high came here. Of course, this is part of the corrective structure we've spent a lot of time talking about. This was not an impulsive top. I'll continue to say that over and over again. This was an impulsive top. This is part of a corrective structure. I've said that over and over again. So what the hell is going on in this chart? Why is it so potentially massively bullish? Here's what may potentially happen in the month of May. That was a pun not intended, but it may happen in the month of May. Remember, before I actually tell you this, do you remember me coming out on May 1st? I'm not going to go through my Twitter. Maybe I'll repost it at the end of the month. Do you remember me coming out on May 1st and saying more than likely the bottom was in for the month? Do you remember that? Because I sure as fuck do. Just saying, go back and watch. Sell in May and you may cry away. Look, guys, I don't want to get ahead of myself either, okay? It's very monumentally bullish, especially what we're seeing on Ethereum, which we're going to get into. Guys, we still have 11 days. Now, I do want to level set and get past the excitement for a moment and also just, calm things down for a moment and say, take what I'm saying and balance it with the fact that we still have like roughly a third of the month to go. A lot can happen, okay? But I'm feeling very good about the price action today. Sometimes my excitement, I don't want it to come across in the wrong way. My exuberance is partly based on the price action and partly just I'm glad to be out here doing this stuff. So what is the significantly important development that's on this chart? Well, in the month of May right now, what we're seeing is a nice thick green candle body stick. But that's not all, guys. That's not all. We are right now at 69,300. If we can get a candle body close that closes above this motherfucker right here, this red body, you see that red body right there? That is at, we're going to round up, 72,000, well, we'll call a spade a spade. No, sorry, open, 71,000, that's what I thought. 71,300, 71,300. What will happen if we close above where this candle body opened in the prior month of April? We're going to have a bullish engulfing candlestick. Now, it is quite rare, and I haven't studied charts, but I at least was having a conversation with, full disclosure, I was having a conversation with my best friend, ChatGPT, about it. But really trying to understand how, and common sense would tell you on the higher time frames, it's going to be more rare that it happens. But how often do you have a bearish engulfing candlestick followed up by a bullish engulfing candlestick? Again, something that could be very common on a very volatile chart, like a 5-minute chart, a 30-minute chart, a 1-hour chart. Okay, fine, this happens all the time. But on a high time frame chart, how many times do we really have a bearish engulfing candlestick and a bullish engulfing candlestick preceding that? Not very common at all. Now, what it would tell us, if we can close this month at 71,300 and above, there are two main things that it's telling you. Number one, there's a huge tug of war going on between the salty crypto bears and the crypto bulls, okay? These guys right here. I don't have any bears. I just got the bulls, I got the bulls. Got the motherfucking bull balls. All right? I don't have any bears here, though. But there's a tug of war going on. The second thing that it's telling you is that the bulls are winning in the most current view. Okay, so based on most current price action. We had this bearish month come in, but now the bulls have fought back. Even though there's a tug of war, the balance of power, maybe that's a good way to put it, the balance of power is in the bulls' favor to deliver a very, very, very bullish trend continuation to the upside beginning in June. That's what it's telling you, okay? So that is what I'm going to be watching for on the monthly. Now, the other things to keep in mind with the monthly, it looks like the relative strength index, we're sitting just shy of 70. We look great. The stochastic RSI is still well above, I mean, it's almost at 80. Basically, it is at 80. MACD looks great. I mean, the monthly chart looks awesome, guys. It looks awesome. So we'll have to see how we close out on the monthly. Now, I did want to get into the topping signals real quick. I'm going to run through those looking at time. I'm going to run through those very quickly. But I want to make sure to touch on the altcoin space. Given the developments within this space, we can see that Ethereum is up. Ethereum is up 17%, okay? So we're going to have to get into some really positive developments within the altcoin space that developed after my post. But let's very quickly run down the topping signals, okay? Now, again, I'm not going to rehash the topping signals video. If you go to my profile on crypto Twitter or X, whatever, this is pinned to my profile, okay? This is pinned to my profile. There is a link to the video if you didn't have an opportunity to see it. It runs down the 6 topping signals and my logic in terms of how to approach a sell strategy, okay? Never, of course, financial advice, just full transparency, how I'm doing things, and something you might want to keep in your arsenal. With that being said, obviously I'm not going to be able to go into my friends' indicators. You'll have to subscribe to those premium services. None of those are flashing though. Now, if we look at the Pi cycle indicator, you can see we're below the fast period moving average and this slow period moving average. Not surprisingly, if you study movements from the past, you can see in 2017, or this is 2020, 2017, you can see in our massive run up to the blow off top in December of 17, we touched that slow period orange moving average. You can see we touched it here and almost touched it here. So not surprising. The other thing I think this 3-day chart shows very nicely is we're beginning to break some downside resistance here. So very good to see. But you can see historically the way this indicator has worked is the blow off top has not occurred until price action was well above the fast period moving average, which would put it up in the 86,000 plus range. And these two moving averages kissed. Okay, the orange came up to touch the blue line. This is not going to work indefinitely. It may not even work this time, and that's why we have 6 indicators. UST dominance, USDT dominance, say that, that's a tongue twister. My mom used to do these tongue twisters with her kids. She used to teach preschool, and she used to do these tongue twisters. Here's a fun one you want to try. All right, try this with your significant other. When my dad had no sense of humor and my mom used to bust my dad's balls, oh, she did it all the time to him. He had no sense of humor. He could never do this. You ready? You ready for this one? Rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers, rubber baby buggy bumpers. It's so easy, guys. It's so easy. Some people just can't do it. This tongue, it does not twist. It can twist. Let's continue. All right, this is USDT dominance. Now, the thing that we have assessed from a topping indicators perspective is when on a monthly view, the dominance RSI has touched this bottom trend line. Every single time that the RSI has touched on a monthly basis this bottom trend line here, we were at or very close to topping within the market. You can still see we have a decent amount of way to go here. I've kind of projected out what I'm, potentially expecting anywhere between this month, which isn't going to happen. So anywhere really between June to, September hypothetically. But this, we wanted to see it get really close or touch this line here. Okay, this is the weekly. Why are we on the daily? This should not. Am I on the wrong chart here? Let's get to the weekly. Hey, okay, sorry. I'm thinking of the wrong chart. This is the MV. This is the MVRVZ score live, people. I'm live. This is the MVRVZ score. Of course, if we're basing this on the past, you can see what I'm looking for is the chart uploads here. Every single time on the MVRVZ score, this descending area of resistance has been touched. And I also have a red area. I have it, in case we go above that. We could go above the line. I'm just sort of projecting what I would anticipate. So at some point, if this comes up into this zone. But based on the past, we have had a descending area of resistance. So if we actually increase this right here, what I'm trying to say is we could hypothetically come all the way up to here, right? We're nowhere near there. So this isn't anywhere near topping either. The Peel multiple, I'll have to check this. I don't understand what's going on with this. It doesn't look right here. But the Peel multiple is not in its topping area. It's nowhere near its topping area, which is all the way up in this area, which I touch on in the video. This is the weekly Bitcoin chart. Of course, what we're looking for here, as discussed in the video, I talk about a heat zone within the relative strength index on the weekly. It's up in this red area here that I speak to in the video. We're nowhere near that. And you can see on the MACD, again, common theme here. This is left over, I think, from the YouTube video. You can see we have the touches on the descending area of resistance here on the MACD. We're getting close. But this still has ways to go. Maybe it takes us all the way into the fourth quarter of this year and it goes a little longer than I'm expecting. But historically, that's a topping area for Bitcoin as well. And then in the last chart, if we want to flip to the monthly, again, same sort of premise. We're just focused on the relative strength index here. Now, again, this is a little bit different than the last chart. Here, we're looking at descending resistance on the MACD. And we're looking at a historical horizontal topping area for relative strength index. Here, what I'm showing is descending resistance on the monthly RSI, right? But again, you want to draw a zone, right? This red area is also an area of a topping area on the monthly. But you can see we still have ways to go. So none of the topping indicators are flashing. So despite what some fucktards or some other analysts are saying about maybe a triple top, there's nothing in the charts indicating anything suggesting that. So, all right, guys, I want to make sure to have enough time here to get into the altcoin space, and then I'll see what time I have to interact with you here in the comments. Let's take a look at what we're seeing in the altcoin space. Now, of course, Solana's having a very nice day. Last time I looked, it was up roughly 9%. You can see we're getting really close to this topping area here. We had a really hard time getting above 200. Once you see Solana touch 200, in my opinion, once it really starts to break towards 200, 200 is going to break. And the reason I say that is, again, price confluence weakens the more times it's touched. Look at how many times we touched 200. 200 is very weak. I think we're going to blow right past it. But the showstopper for today, Ethereum looks like it's at the high of the days. We're up almost 19%. Guys, what did we say on this channel? We've said a lot of things on this channel. Hopefully, most of what I've said on this channel, it makes sense. Some of it's illogical. Sometimes I go off on a little bit of a tangent. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking to myself and making myself laugh. I wonder if you guys are kind of laughing behind the scenes. But, one of the other things we've always talked about on this live stream is that Ethereum, too many people are sleeping on Ethereum. We're going to get into the ETH BTC relativity chart in a moment. But I've been saying that way too many people are negative on Ethereum. All it takes is a news narrative and a narrative shift, and all of a sudden, oh, gee, this is a beautiful chart, and look, it's waking up. Now, albeit I've been the first to tell you that the moves in Ethereum and the moves in ETH BTC have been taking longer than I was expecting, but the whole market's progression has been a little bit... alts haven't quite moved within the timing of what I expected. It's taking a little bit longer, right? Doesn't mean anything's invalid with my general thought process, though. You can see look at the price indicators here. We're curling up towards 70 on the RSI. The MACD wants to cross up. Stochastic RSI is almost at a bullish confirmation, getting towards 20. Look at this green candlestick. We just spoke about downwards resistance here, and we are busting a nut right through downward resistance here, right? It would be epically bullish if we could get a weekly close somewhere up in here. Just out of curiosity, what does the monthly look like? Yeah, and again, same sort of Wow. Now, you heard it here first, okay? I'm sure you heard it here first. And if it does happen, you will be hearing it from other content creators moving forward. If this results in being a monthly bullish engulfing candlestick on this chart on Ethereum on the monthly, as well as Bitcoin on the monthly, guys, fucking send it in June and July at the very least. Fucking send it in June and July. I'm just telling you that right now. Again, I can't tell you definitively what's going to happen in the charts, but if this motherfucker and this motherfucker are both bullish engulfing on the monthly, send it. June, July. Send it. I'm just telling you right now. And you're going to be hearing it from other content creators towards the end of the month. So we'll have to be patient, though, and wait to see if we can... this is just 1 day's worth of price action. Again, very encouraging, but 1 day's worth of price action. I told you guys, I was expecting my primary hypothesis, my primary view was for this trend line to hold. I said if it didn't hold, what would happen? We'd get a range deviation. I have not moved this rectangular green space, guys. Okay, if you've been here, you know that. We literally have bottomed right at the bottom of green rectangular space, guys. And they say that technical analysis doesn't work. I mean, this is not magic. This is just something I've had drawn for months. Literally months if you've been here. And we have bottomed at the exact bottom here if this holds. What could potentially be playing out is exactly what I've been speaking to for weeks. There is a possible range deviation that is faking people out, and this thing is going to come up here and do something like this. We will have to see, but things are starting to turn around potentially on the Bitcoin, on the Ethereum Bitcoin relativity chart. But again, for me to really start to get excited about this chart in particular, I want to see this thing move all the way back up into here. Because there are two things then that are going on. One, we're invalidating that we broke this ascending area of support and it is potentially a true range deviation. And two, now we're interacting with this descending line of resistance and it's not going to hold this time. It's going to break. So that's what I want to see coming in this chart. But the other thing, if you not only, I mean, not necessarily if you've been in the market for a while, but if you understand how these charts work and you've learned anything from this channel, what you should know, one of the first thoughts that should go through your mind when you see a strong move like this in Ethereum is not only to look at the Ethereum BTC chart, but what other chart should you be looking at? The Bitcoin dominance chart. Why is that? Ethereum is the number one altcoin. I've been saying this forever. I don't care if you love or hate Ethereum, okay? Look, I just posted this last night, okay? You can see where my strongest altcoin conviction is at, okay? It's time to show a little love for Caspa. This thing's going to go fucking crazy in my opinion. This year. We're nowhere near the top in Caspa. That doesn't mean I don't want Ethereum to do well. Okay, we need the king altcoin to do well. So if the king altcoin is outpacing Bitcoin and you're saying, oh, well, I mean, that's good for the ETH BTC relativity chart, dominance is going to bleed, guys. Bitcoin dominance is going to bleed. This is what we've been talking about for a long time on this channel. We need these big altcoins, these big market cap altcoins to outperform Bitcoin. That is ultimately what's going to result in this bleeding action here that's going to break this downward area of resistance. And this is where we start to see our alt season. Now, this is not going to happen until Bitcoin starts breaking up towards $80,000, in my opinion, which we're getting closer and closer, guys. We're pushing up towards 70,000 at the moment. So, but this is a significant development in the Bitcoin dominance chart. Bravo Ethereum, right? Let's get some XRP news out, okay? And have something happen to XRP. It doesn't matter which top 10 altcoin you're talking about. When you have them outperforming Bitcoin to this degree, this is what leads to the dominance draining down, and this is what ultimately will lead. Everyone's looking at these charts, guys, okay? Once this trend line breaks, and it's not going to be instantaneous, but once this trend line breaks, in relatively short fashion, your alts are going to fucking run, man. Your alts are going to fucking run. They're all going to outpace Bitcoin. and we're going to have a massive altcoin cycle. And then we can look back and laugh at tweets and posts from people like Peter Brandt, who dare put out a post questioning if there's ever going to be another alt season. Guys, this happens every year. Okay, again, take it from someone who's been here since 18, invested since 18. The same sort of news narratives, they just get recycled over and over again. I guarantee you, okay, just hear me out. China will ban Bitcoin by the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year. They're going to ban it again, right? And that's why Bitcoin's going down. No, the charts say it should be going down, guys. Let's get into the comments real quick. That's all I had prepared for you today. Let's see who else joined the live stream. Welcome in from Norway. Logical move. Thank you so much. Oh, man. See, everybody's in a different time zone. I love it. Yeah, bullish in golfing. Oof. If we get a bullish in golfing on the monthly, it's really going to be monumentally bullish for the entire space. Caspa, yes. Caspa, we can take a quick look at it today. I saw it was up upwards of like 6%. Let's take a look at the weekly real quick. Caspa, starting to push back above this 10 simple moving average. We've spent a lot of time talking about that. Look at this stochastic RSI. This thing is above. My head's blocking the way, but we're starting to get above that 20 trigger line. Things are looking good. This is why I haven't done a damn thing with Caspa. Storing it away. I mean, the real SR, in terms of my thoughts on Caspa, I've been, if you've been keeping track of my content, both on YouTube and X, then you should know that I think that it absolutely is going to break into the top 20. That's my opinion. I think at worst it's going to be in that 15 to 20 spot. But I think it has a very solid chance of breaking past the top 15 into maybe the top 10. And if it's not in top 10, maybe you're talking 12 or 13 or something like that. And I've spoken to a $2 to $4 price target, and I didn't pull the $2 to $4 out of this nice sculpted ass that I've spent years in the gym defining. Okay? I actually did an entire video putting together what I believe is a very logical, well thought out analysis that supports a $2 to $4 price target. So nothing has changed. Caspa is going to run with the rest of the altcoins as the rest of the altcoins run. But if I'm correct in what I'm saying, you are going to see it outpace the majority of altcoins. Guys, that's going to do it for today. I will be back tomorrow. I am meeting up with a buddy, so I'm not sure what time I'm going to live stream actually tomorrow, thinking about that. But I will be here Tuesday. I will be here Wednesday and Thursday. I would say this week is sort of in flux in terms of times, just because I have a little bit more time to myself. But again, if you weren't here at the beginning of the live stream, make sure that you rewind and go back to the beginning. Next week, we're going back to sort of the new regular schedule. So there's going to be more consistency with it. And of course, if there's any positive developments this weekend that are significant, which there could be, I'll be here on Sunday. But guys, take care. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was good to see everyone. And until next time, let's all spread awareness. Let's carry the education forward. Take care.